Hey Nature Detectives, I'm Conrad. I'm an outdoor educator at Letchworth State Park, and today I have a nature mystery for you. We found some little holes in the side of a tree, and I think we can use some nature clues to figure out what kind of animal made these holes and how it helps us every single day. We'll use two nature tools to do that, our eyes and our fingers. The first nature clue that we notice about these holes are their size. Do you see how small they are? They are not even as big as the tip of my pinky finger. And the second nature clue we notice right away is that these holes are not random. They're not just sprayed all over the tree. These holes are in a pattern. The pattern is horizontal lines. The lines are flat across, not up and down along the side of the tree, but straight across, almost in a straight line in most places. And the third nature clue, we get in there with our fingers and we notice that the holes are very shallow. It's difficult to find a hole that is so deep that we can't almost touch the bottom just with our finger from the outside. These holes don't go deep down into the middle, the heartwood of the tree. They're just limited to the bark and just a little bit into the living tissue just underneath the bark layer. So let's put all those nature clues together. We have some very shallow holes that only pierce the bark layer into the living tissue of the tree. These holes are arranged in horizontal rows, and they're smaller than the tips of our pinky fingers. These holes look like the work of a yellow-bellied sapsucker. Yellow-bellied sapsuckers are a kind of woodpecker, one of 7 species seen in New York State. But these aren't the only kinds of holes that sapsuckers will make. When it's nesting time in the spring, sapsuckers will dig larger holes in the sides of trees. These holes are bigger than the end of our pinkies and bigger than our thumbs. If you have little hands, it might even be bigger than your fist. These nest cavities don't have a nest inside them. The female sapsucker will lay the eggs directly on the wood chips inside that hole. Once the sapsuckers are done nesting for the year, that hole can be used as a shelter for all kinds of woodland creatures like squirrels and maybe even some tree-dwelling bats, which are very beneficial to us humans, eating lots of insects that we consider to be pests or could even give us diseases. If there's a natural break in a tree branch or an ice storm rips off the top of a tree, you can bet that that sap starts to flow out of those wounds. And sapsuckers, of course, are not the only animals that take advantage of this bounty of sweet, sugary food. There are all kinds of insects that depend on sap at this time of year to survive. Certain kinds of butterflies like the mourning cloak or non-luminous, non-lighting fireflies depend on sap flows this time of year, along with many different kinds of cool-looking moths. And if you've ever had maple syrup, you are a sapsucker too. Maple syrup comes from boiling down the sap of sugar maple trees in particular. And it just so happens that this part of New York is the most productive maple region in all of New York State. In fact, not too far away from me right now is our big, beautiful sugar house, which will be the stage for Maple Weekends this year. March 18th, March 19th, March 25th, and March 26th. Come get your pancake breakfast. Come get your locally made maple syrup in the heart of Maple Country here near the Humphrey Nature Center in Letchworth State Park. You can check our social media and the comments below for more details about that Maple Festival. Well, thanks so much for joining me for today's Nature Mystery. If you have any questions about the yellow-bellied sapsuckers or other woodpeckers that you're likely to see in New York State, please put a comment in the comment section below the video. Share this video with your friends to put their nature detective skills to the test. And as always, like Letchworth State Park's Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube to stay tuned for more nature mysteries.